It's going live. Hopefully it works. Hey, we're live, everyone.
And I'll
Ooh.
see it on my YouTube page,
Right, it
right?
should be on the Level 99 Games YouTube page. If you don't have the link to it, I could link you now. There
Yeah,
you
you should
go.
link it to me now that we're live.
Right. Hello, everyone. Hopefully everything's going all right and dandy, and this is
All
gonna
right,
be
cool. Yeah, I see it now. I'm live.
this is gonna be a very special episode of the New Level Cap podcast. With me, your host, Marco DeSantos, also known as Mechanic Critic, and with me is the one, the magnanimous, the magnificent.
Marco,
It's me. No, it's Brad. He's down there. Do you see the stream? That's Brad.
what is it?
Brad, it has
Oh,
your name on it.
okay. Hold on, I gotta pause my upload so that I catch up with you. I'm uploading a bunch of BattleCon Devastation stuff right now, so
Well, you
my
probably
stream
shouldn't.
might be a little slow.
It's okay. I mean, like at the end of the day, it's fine because there's gonna be a stream delay regardless. I always add a little
Mhm.
bit of stream delay so it's not instant because
Oh, okay.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
nobody can stream snipe us.
Right, nobody can stream snipe our design process, but also because let me be real with you, my internet's not that great, so you know,
I see.
poke, poke.
What are you doing?
I'm poking everybody because I want them to know that I love them. Brad,
Ah, I got you.
all right. I was like, what? What's happening?
Yeah.
All right, everyone.
Uh,
Hello.
Yeah. So, we're gonna make some Exceed customs today. Exciting stuff.
Right. Is it really a custom if you, Brad, are the designer of the original Exceed? Uh,
Yeah.
It's still a custom.
Everything. I think the takeaway here, Marco, is that there's actually nothing that's not custom. We custom make it all for you,
Right,
dear
right.
dear gamers.
Dear gamers, dear Elite Exceed gamers, we need your help. No, but seriously, this is gonna be a fun exercise for me, Brad, and everybody else on the stream. So if you are excited or want to see more about what's happening on the stream, be ready to interact. This is all about community interaction.
Yeah.
Right. So chat is saying that they love me too, and that I am also magnificent. Brad has made some sick Exceed customs. They're called version Brads. is that true?
Um. Yeah. I know I've made some pretty sick Exceed customs, and it falls to Marco to heal them.
Right. I mean, at the end of the day, though, your customs are so good they go into a finished product that people buy.
No. I think the finished versions are so good. I have to give my kudos to the balance teams who really do all the heavy lifting, and also to Davey who's done an exceptional job bringing all these to life and rendering, and to Fabio who did all the great art in Shovel Knight Exceed, and to man, really just to the team. Like Exceed is actually one of the projects that I do the least on. I built season 1 and 2, and kind of the concepts for 3 and 4, but
Right.
really this is the game that like the pros at level 99 have taken to taken all the way.
So
I
you
can't really take credit.
so Exceed is more of a set it and forget it kind of deal.
I wouldn't say that. A lot of work goes into it. It's just not a lot of like I can say, hey, I think that like Joffrey should fight like this, and Chun Li should fight like that. But the team actually does all of the difficult work. I just do the fun, easy stuff.
Right. You get to do what we're about to do, which is design a concept from the ground up. And I guess it's up to the chat to figure out whether or not this character is going to be balanced. It's their job, right?
Yeah. So what are we seeing here on screen, Marco?
Right. So what we're seeing here on screen is what I affectionately call, well, not what I affectionately call. It is the BattleCon customs. Sorry, not BattleCon. Whoa. My hidden desires. Woo. The Exceed custom character template. So in the Exceed community, we actually make use of the Exceed custom character template to create custom characters. And this is really for easy prototyping for the fans. So, when they want to just get the attack shapes hashed out, when they just want to get the card names, the card effects, card stats, when they want all of them hashed out before they commit to making actual cards for the characters.
Oh yeah, I was calling out the Exceed team, but I should probably also mention Daniel Ziegler, who is handling Exceed for the current future season that has not been announced yet. He's really taken a good point on balance.
Right, but Brad, we all know that we've already announced this new sacred season of Exceed. It's Shrek.
It's not Shrek. Just because you're sitting behind a green screen doesn't mean you can make everything green.
It's Ogre now.
I could definitively say it's not Shrek.
Why not? Okay, it's Trolls.
All right, so so how do we add cards to this, Marco?
Right, so it would just be a simple. Well, it already has technically a bunch of cards in it, right? So this would be block. So the structure is that this is the name of the attack part, and this is the boost part, right?
Okay.
Right, and then if we need transforms to happen, we could use this format over here, right?
Got it. Okay.
Right, and
we just make another, copy this and duplicate it to make another attack.
To make another attack. I mean, so usually what would happen is we get rid of the normals because everybody knows what normals do. So we just replace the normals with all of the attacks we needed. So this will be our 5 specials and then our 2 ultras. Or maybe more, who knows? Maybe we have 7 ultras for this character. So, people in chat, Daniel Zeiger for short. Sorry, yes, chat is correct. Right, sorry. And if you haven't watched a lot of the videos with me and Daniel, Daniel always says that his name is D, aka Tyrankin, or Daniel Zeiger for short, which doesn't make sense to me because Daniel Zeiger is not shorter than any of the 2 other names. Brad, whoa! I see you flexing something there, Brad.
I'm rubbing my neck.
Rubbing your neck?
Sorry.
No, sorry.
Carrying this baby around for 5 hours in the morning every day has
right.
I need to take a hot bath and put a compress on my shoulders.
But Brad, you have secretly accidentally revealed something on stream that I don't know whether or not you wanted to reveal.
I haven't been to the gym that much, if that's what you're referencing.
No, I'm not talking about your sick guns. I'm talking about your shirt that was not visible until you stretched it backwards.
My shirt? Oh, you mean this little thing?
Right. What's this little thing? Can you just, come closer to the camera a little bit? If I were to wager, that's Jeff, Taisei, and Zolt? Is that Zolt?
Yeah. This is the 7th Cross shirt, which we are going to be announcing Friday. Yeah, Friday you'll be able to pre-order this shirt.
Dang. Ooh, spicy. Yeah. So at the end of the day, we accidentally revealed something on stream, or maybe not accidentally.
Well, it maybe isn't so accidental. I've got one other thing because we're doing 2 new announcements on Friday. Right. I guess I'll just get it out of the way now that you've brought it up. But shirts, we're doing a new shirt, which is this Joffrey Taisei Zolt shirt, 7th Cross design shirt.
Right.
And we have a playmat, which we're putting out. So this is Remulus. Can you see it? Is that a good angle there?
Hey, there you go. Oh, it's the Remulus playmat.
So, Remulus playmat. It's got 9 spaces, so it's good for Exceed, but it's also very subtle, so you can just use it for ordinary gaming too. Right. So it's designed to be more of an all-purpose mat than our Exceed-specific mats.
And you could also use it to play BattleCON multiplayer or BattleCON single player, just ignoring some of the spaces. Hey.
Yeah, you could. You definitely could.
Right.
So those 2 things, this mat and this shirt, are going to be available pre-order. And they'll be available for pre-order for exactly till the end of the month. At the end of the month, we'll take them down and we'll ship them out. So you have a few weeks of a window to get these items. And then after that, they're gone. So don't miss out.
Right. So we'll make that announcement on Friday. But everybody who tuned into the stream gets a special treat of knowing it a few days earlier. That's what we provide you. That's the service we provide you. It's some special sneak peeks. Also, by the way,
one other thing too before we go, I wanted to say a special thanks for our partner Shark Robot, who produced the mat and shirt for us. So these were made for us by our friends at Shark Robot, and we're really looking forward to working with them on this special promotion.
Right.
So,
But I also want to give special shout out to the community member who basically asked for this playmat and made it happen. It's RBY. So hi RBY. Let's never speak of
yeah.
tempo ever again.
So this was suggested by a fan.
Right. So RBY, there you go. There's your Remless playmat. Also, never speak of tempo to me ever again. So regardless, well, let's get on to the show. Okay, all of this.
Okay, yeah, let's get into making some characters. So
right.
what's the format here, right?
Right.
It's I come up with a character, and then you have to make the character, and then I have to fix it for you. Is that right?
No. They.
Oh.
So we are simply servants in this episode because
Okay.
our boss, also known as the community, also known as the chat, will demand of us a character, and we must slave over it and make it. You know?
I see.
Right. So chat, here's your opportunity.
Yeah.
Who should we make? So it could be a concept as simple as, a battle priest who uses heals to hurt other people. Or it could be more specific, like an actual, make Naruto from Naruto, right?
Okay. So this chat is going to start lighting up with suggestions. And how do you pick a suggestion? Is it just
Right.
the first suggestion to get said 5 times?
No,
is it like
we're gonna straw poll
you know,
it.
like YouTube plays exceed dev time?
YouTube plays exceed dev time. I mean, look, why not? No, so what will happen is if you've ever used straw poll before, I'm gonna create a straw poll with maybe 5 suggestions that you and I kind of agree on, and then we let the fans pick from the
Okay.
5, right?
Ooh, Soul Badguy. I actually have a Soul Badguy kit that I tested a while ago.
That doesn't. Then then that defeats the purpose of this exercise.
Well, I mean,
Fine,
I don't know
fine,
what you want.
fine. Which custom character?
Okay. So we have Soul Badguy, the ninja.
Wait, that's not specific enough.
Mecha Zangief.
Mecha Zangief would be okay.
Let's see, Rook from Fantasy Strike.
Rook from Fantasy.
And
why are there just a bunch of grapplers here?
Dimitri
from Fire Emblem.
Darkstalkers.
Okay.
From Darkstalkers.
I was like, Fire Emblem? No.
And let's see, a character who only hits with each of their specials at individual ranges. Okay, so
you want Byron?
I guess. Yeah.
No, so here's the thing. I think people are misconstruing the point, right? Like Brian suggested a character who only, but that's already the mechanics of the character, right? That's not what we're looking for, right? We're looking for a concept. So the ninja from the messenger may be rad. Oh, the ninja from messenger. Okay.
The kid from Bastion.
Oh, boy. Dude. Yes. Oh my God, the kid from Bastion. Oh gosh. I mean, look, I would also pick Zagreus from Hades. That would be cool. Make one of the options.
So how big is the straw poll gotten?
It's only 6. I'm gonna go until 8, probably.
Okay.
Pikachu.
Oh yeah, from Smash Brothers.
Yeah. You know that game, Smash Brothers? Good game. One more. Oh, so Zeta Slow says, Brad, it's not ninja. I'm sad you didn't check out the part that said the messenger at the end.
I've played the messenger, so I do know who we're talking about here.
Okay, Vincent Valentine from Final Fantasy.
Brian, Byron Crane from BattleCon only hits at specific ranges. But I don't think an exceed. I don't know that we have one in exceed.
Not an exceed. No. In BattleCon, there's a character who doesn't only hit the specific ranges, but each and every single one of his attacks is best when used at the specific range, and they all have explicit ranges that give him bonus effects. All right, so how do we link this straw poll? Copy link.
I'm feeling a bit dehydrated today.
It's okay. Baby Yoda? No. How can Baby Yoda
Have you watched Mandalorian yet?
I don't have Disney Plus yet, but of course I know who Baby Yoda is.
I don't either, but I have friends with Disney Plus, so I've seen it.
So you've stolen their Disney Plus.
I went to their house and watched Disney Plus with them. That's how you do it.
Right.
Like one person buys it and then it's a party.
Right. Okay, that's fair. So I've listed down the 8 suggestions that we have. So currently it is Soul Badguy, Mecha Zangief, Rook from Fantasy Strike, Dimitri from Darkstalkers, the Ninja from Messenger, the Kid from Bastion, Pikachu from Smash Brothers, you know the game Smash Brothers, and Vincent Valentine from Final Fantasy. So make your choices. If there were any other choices that were given after I already made this poll, sorry, it's a bit too late.
Cool. Well, while we wait for the straw poll to get results, I just wanted to say a quick plug for BattleCon Wanderers. If you missed it, I did a stream earlier today where I unboxed this game and I show you everything that's inside. But since we got nothing to talk about in the meantime, why don't I do that again?
Sure. We're gonna wait a little bit.
Here's the box top. Let's check it out. It's a lot cleaner design than in the past. There's this is the side of the box. You can see like we used the cool artwork on the box sides.
So that's the Black Spire and the custom
and the key art, yeah. So game comes with a character guide and the rulebook. Character guide is just a bunch of lore, storyline stuff, and then the
I mean, what do you mean
the
just?
rulebook, of course, is like the full game rules, exhaustive. But and then there's a transition guide for people who are new to 4th edition, who are coming in from one of the older games.
Right, that's gonna be really useful because a lot of people ask about that.
Yeah, this is the game board, and this is glorious. Look at that.
So this is my favorite thing about Wanderers and 4th edition is that all of the game boards are now actual game environments. So now if you own every copy of BattleCon or future editions of BattleCon, you can have an actual stage select. That's awesome.
Yeah. It's I'm pretty excited about this. And then so this is what the box looks like when it's packed on the inside. You can see the characters sit here. It's a little roomier than Trials was, which is pretty nice.
Nice.
And for the new players, we have this quick start guide, right, which walks you through the first few turns of the game. So this is the kind of demo. This is the same demo we would give if you were at a convention, right? That we would teach to you. And then on the back of this is big poster, so that after you're done teaching all your friends, you can hang it up in your game store.
Right, or if you don't have friends.
Marco, if you don't have friends, then you should play, I guess, BattleCon Online probably, so that you can be matched up with randos.
Right, or you play solo mode dungeon.
Yeah.
Right.
I should point out though that BattleCon is a game, and Exceed 2 is a game designed for for people with friends, right? Like the idea is that when I was a kid, I played a lot of games like Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh, and everybody had their own decks, and if you had a deck, you were in and you could play, and if you didn't, then it was kind of this obtuse thing, right?
Right.
And what I wanted to do when I first designed BattleCon was I wanted to build a game where one person could bring a box and everybody could participate in the meta. You could pick your favorite character and you could master them and you can battle against the other players. And it was a game for not just one person, but for a whole circle of friends.
For a community.
Kind of own together.
Right.
Yeah. Game for community. And Exceed is much in the same vein. I expect that, that people will get, that people get together to play it.
Right. I mean, look, I joke about not having friends, but literally this is what happened. I bought my copy of BattleCon, and then, literally, I would bring it to school every day, and then I would have my own BattleCon posse, and we would play during lunch breaks, and then we would get in trouble with the school because they thought we were gambling.
That's right. I remember I had to write you a letter explaining this game was not a gambling game.
Right. The funny part about this story was that I got sent to a prefect's office because he was in charge of all disciplinary cases, and none of the other prefects were there except for this one prefect. So this one prefect who usually would not take my case took my case, right? And when I entered his office, lining his office walls were Dominion, Arkham Horror. It's like literally the best prefect to get because he knew what board games were. So he was like, "Oh, what's this game you have? Can I see the manual? Okay, one question. Do you draw cards from a deck?" And I'm like, "No." He's like, "Get us out of my face. You're not gambling."
Yeah. No, it's good. I successfly got Magic the Gathering banned at 2 high schools. So I definitely I'm in that same group, except I had no recourse.
Right.
So I want to answer a few questions while we're here.
So when is Wanderers coming out, Brad?
Wanderers is going to be coming out alongside the rest of BattleCon 4th edition. We're probably looking at spring to summer. I'm thinking around May that this will actually be on your doorstep.
Right.
But we're trying to get it to press in January, February. So
Right.
we're pretty close. Trials patch is done, right?
So the Trials patch is done. I just need to make the cards for it.
Yeah.
Then Fate should be done after we rework a certain metal
Yeah.
person.
Fate patch and wait, you didn't like Masala rework?
We can talk about that later.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So Fate rework and then War rework, and then we're done and everything's finished. So we're pretty close. Githian wanted to ask here, is there a plan to ship to Italy in the future? We are actually talking with J-pop games in Italy about localizing Exceed to Italian language. So you may have a real localized copy of Exceed's upcoming seasons in Italy very soon.
Right.
So look out for that. So
Right. So there we go. Okay, I think we've waited long enough for the straw poll, and it seems like the person who won was Soul Badguy from my favorite season of Exceed Shrek.
oh wait, I wanna vote too so that I can see the results. Okay. Oh, you can just scroll down to see the results. I see.
Right.
Okay. Great.
Right. So
Well, cool.
Soul bad guy. He doesn't seem like such a bad guy. So this is going to be the usefulness of having the screen available onto our left if you're watching the stream, is that we can Google Soul bad guy and have some references for what this character's experience is all
Marco,
about.
never Google on a live stream.
But I already practiced.
Okay, I'm making a new tab for Soul.
Right. So Soul bad guy. Is it? Yes, there we go. So we can change the name, change everything. The Soul bad guy. All right. So Shovel Knight Euro release date. Do you have an answer to that?
Yeah, Shovel Knight is on a boat. It's on its way over to us, and let me check my my spreadsheet, my logbook here. See if we have an ETA yet. Logbook says ETA is 1/1/2020. So
right.
That's yeah, and I have actually a bill of lading number too. So yeah, it ships out on the 7th of this month. So 3 days. The boat's gonna be on the water. It'll reach us in Chicago by the 1st of the year.
Right. That's good.
Yep.
Okay, so people are asking, are there patches for all the releases in BattleCon? There will be a patch for every single BattleCon release ever, which is why it's taking quite a bit.
All right.
Right. So
Let me look up Soul Bad Guy's move list.
Right. We can go to Dust Loop, right?
Yeah, that's where I will certainly go.
Right. So we can go to Dust Loop, and this is safe. We can probably assume that
they might show it. They might show an ad or something. It's just let me do the googling. That's
fine.
That's the
fine.
Since I'm not live streaming this.
Right. Okay.
So while skip over to the Soul Bad Guy tab.
Right.
Right.
So I just went to the Soul Bad Guy tab. He's not a bad guy. So I've never played it this great. Shovel Knight on a bow facing off with Boat Knight. Boat Knight might be a good knight. Bug Knight from gosh, what's the name of the game? It's Hollow Knight. Oh gosh, that's not even the character's name. Bug Knight is not even that character's name.
No, it's not.
Okay, so we can get rid of some of the. Oh, you want to put an instant kill?
Well, of course, it's Guilty Gear. That's the most important mechanic in the game.
All right, sure. So we have Soul Bad Guy. Okay, so Brad and chat, since you all kind of voted for this, so let's start with the first thing that we always need to ask when making custom characters, Brad. What's the experience, right? How should you feel when you play Soul Bad Guy? I will be very clear right now. Guilty Gear was not my fighting game of choice growing up, so I don't know much about Soul Bad Guy. So people, tell me what he's about, and we can start on that. Oh. You okay, Brad?
Excuse me. I'm sorry.
Gosh. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, Guilty Gear Xrd is a really amazing game.
Really? I've only played Fighter Z, so maybe I should play other.
Well, it's like Fighter Z if Fighter Z was good.
Ooh! Oh, Brad laying down the truth. Shots fired. Oh my gosh. Does the existence of Soul Bad Guy refute the existence of other bad guys? I don't know. I mean, Bad Guy is his last name, right? So maybe his mom is like Martha Bad Guy. His dad is like Jonathan Bad Guy. Who knows? Is it a brawler? That's a big question. Is
Is
Soul a
brawler?
brawler? No, he's not. Is Soul not a brawler?
No, he is. I would say yeah. He's the kind of guy who walks up and gets in your face and hits faster and harder than you do. He
Right.
doesn't have a lot of really technical like deep moves. It's really about executing the high flying combos and knowing when to it's about fundamentals, right?
Right. So
Like
he's
all
the
good
Ryu.
brawlers, he's the main character, so he's a fundamentals character.
Right. So he's the Ryu, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So that's a good starting point. Do you happen to have a series of so he needs to make you feel like I set an attack and it's the opponent's problem to deal with it. So Ryu from actual Exceed might be a good frame of reference, right? Let's see. So we have Gunflame, Volcanic Viper, Bandit Revolver. Are these the names of the moves that you're trying to figure out?
Yeah, these are his special moves.
All right, all right. Everyone's a brawler. His name is Frederick. Okay,
Yeah.
is his name actually just Frederick Bad Guy?
No, it's what's the word? He changed his name due to events that happened in the game.
Right. So his original name was Frederick something else.
Yeah.
Right, right. Evil Soul Bad Guy. No, Michael. His name would then therefore be Moon Good Girl, right?
Girl. Oh man.
It's like Evil Hikaru.
Sure.
So
Sure.
here's the big deal, right? So I don't know a lot about Guilty Gear, but I do know that he has a dragon install, and I know installs
Yeah.
are a big thing about Guilty Gear because I'm pretty sure they're an ultra that buffs you up for a short time period, right?
Yeah.
But is the dragon install like something that Soul does every game? Like, is it part of his game plan? Is he like Nikali from Street Fighter V? Right.
I don't know. I don't think so. Because his other one, the Tyrant Rave, does enough damage that if you have meter and you can kill with it, you'll do that instead.
Right.
I think that Dragon Install is probably a more rarely used move.
Right.
So
So it's not part of his, as we would call it, the usual play pattern for the character.
yeah, I think the usual play pattern is cool brawler, and then if you need the advantages, then you go for the Dragon Install. And that's just a mode where he gets a little bit faster and does more damage, and his specials gain range.
So it's a win more kind of move.
I think so.
Right. So why are we putting it in the kit? Because it's iconic. Is it iconic to the character?
Well, he's only got two supers.
Okay. Well, I guess we can't really do much with that. So
Yeah.
So the experience is I lay down an attack, you do something about it, scrub, right? So probably our
Yeah,
frames
so
of
definitely there's a good challenge there in the character.
right. So he probably takes a lot from actual Ryu in Exceed, right? Exceed Ryu. He also probably takes from big threat characters, right? Like so we can look at Carl Swangy. We can probably look at Ryu. We could probably also still look at Ken because those are the two fundamentals characters in season 3, right? We can probably in season 2. I think one example we might need to look at is either Zolt or Galdrid. I'm not sure because like for Galdrid at the very least, it's like his second form is like I play this attack, deal with it, right? So
Yeah.
right. Does okay. So unique ability for Soul Bad Guy. Here's the big question, Brad. Do we make a unique mechanic for Soul?
I don't think we want. Guilty Gear is not a game where every character comes with unique mechanics.
Oh, that's Blaze
the
Blue,
game-
right?
Yeah, the game itself has some key mechanics, and that's about it, really.
Right.
They aren't shared.
Okay, so we
but-
want to put a burst mechanic too?
Guilty Gear kind of invented the burst, and it's a
Right.
major part of the game. Uh,
It might be overloading, right? Because now we just have two unique mechanics, right? Like
mm,
I think we need to pick between instant kill and burst, and then make that
yeah.
part of the character's plan, right? I don't want to
Okay.
overload. So which one's
Well, the
more
burst
iconic?
is probably the more iconic for Guilty Gear,
Right.
because especially if we can somehow overload the mechanic so that you capture both burst and Roman cancel,
Right.
that would be ideal.
So I think my ID. So I know what a burst is because I played Persona 4 Arena. So
Yeah,
it's kind of the
you
same
would know
thing,
what a
right?
Roman cancel is too if you've played Persona 4
Right.
Arena.
Exactly. Right. So maybe something along the lines of like it's a one-time use card or something like that, or maybe it has a prohibitive-esque cost. Because I'm pretty sure that in a single round of Persona, you get one or two bursts at most, right?
Yeah.
Um, so maybe it's something along the lines of you can use it when you set your attack to gain a certain amount of armor, which essentially is bursting out of something. Then you gain advantage, so that also captures Roman
Mm.
cancel, right? Because technically Roman canceling just lets you string attacks better, so you can use it to
Well, you can use it for feints and stuff too. But yeah.
right. Yeah, but like you
Uh,
could use it at an exceed, right? So we're at range 3, I play at range 4, I play assault and then I burst on the assault. So I go in but don't hit you, then I can attack again, right? So it's still kind of
yeah.
like a feint. So I think after advantage would be a really good thing there. Or maybe even cleanup advantage. Like it always gives you
Mm,
advantage, regardless of whether or not you get
mm.
stunned, right? Um,
Well, let's think about this for a little bit
right.
because the the way that I would design a character like this is I first think about the whole property
Right.
and try to think about what kind of feel that we're getting, that we're generating. Guilty Gear is a highly technical game. We want to have a mechanic that is something for the seasoned players. But it is a game that's generally about fundamentals and deep tricks, like the Roman cancels, like the frame links,
Hmm.
those kind of things. It's not so much a game about having a bunch of gimmicks like Blaze Blue is.
Right. Right.
So I would want to come up with a mechanic that is kind of in the same vein as the um, what do you call it? In
Crits.
the same vein as critical in Street Fighter, where it's something that is a simple option select, but it provides a lot of technical capability to the characters.
Right.
So if we were talking about, so let's just like step back and let's call it like cancel for the moment, because cancels are sort of what I guess the technical side of the game is. And
Right.
it'd be
Right.
good to develop a mechanic that gives players a lot of control to cancel. Um, a very simple sort of thing to do would be something like, pay to gauge um, after any non-strike
Action.
action to
Take another
take
action.
another action. So something like that would be uh, really simple. As a really simple mechanic, but it would add a lot of depth, and it would really inform your late game opportunities.
Right. Right.
Right? Because if I have two gauge, I could do something like change cards into a new hand and then attack. I
Right.
could do like
Move
exceed and
action
then
into
attack,
attack.
or yeah. I don't want to do one gauge because I think one gauge is
I
a
mean,
little too basic.
it's super easy. I mean, like
Yeah.
so back to the steps that I talked about. If we're looking at effects that are similar to this, characters have had effects like this. Specifically, characters in season 2 have transforms that let them take an action after taking a
Take an
non.
action after something.
Right, right,
Mhm.
right. So, for example, Galdred has a transform that's if you take a non-strike action and your hand is empty, you may strike. Right. So that's a lot of
Mhm.
restrictions. And if we're gonna loosen the restrictions to you can take any action, then probably
Yeah.
pay to gauge is a good cost for that. At least it's a
Yeah.
conservative cost for it.
Yeah, I think so. So this would be a good, a good baseline mechanic, I think, for the whole season, because you can do some movement and then cancel it into your attack or into another thing.
Right. So you can
Um,
go in and then go out or something like that.
yeah.
No, Kevin, stop. No, Kevin's just suggesting we make BattleCon cancel.
Oh, BattleCon cancel.
No, stop. Jobby, thank you so much.
Why relive the mistakes of the past?
Jobby,
Um,
you can
by
get
the
into
way,
some Exceed in BattleCon. Right.
one thing I might recommend to you, Marco, if you move your there's a little control at the top here that has a percent there. You can zoom into this sheet, and people watching the stream will be able to see a little bit better. You see it
Okay, yeah.
right up
So
there.
I can do
If you put that at
150%.
150, yeah,
Yeah,
you'll have
there we go.
a better looking stream.
Thank you so much. I never knew that. I've always just, I have perfect 2020 vision, excuse you.
Well, you're also looking at the screen. You're not looking at another screen that's been shrunk down.
I technically am.
Aye, aye.
All
All right.
right. All right. So, let's see. We this mechanic looks really interesting. So is this just like this is like the quote unquote season mechanic for all characters?
Yeah, let's say this is the season mechanic for the Guilty Gear characters.
Right. But what is Soul Badguy's unique ability? Because in design that I didn't put in the steps, one really big step that I wanted to make, or that is really useful, is finding out your character's unique ability first. A lot of people tend to design the cards and the specials before designing the unique ability, because the cards and the specials are easy, right? Because they're like, oh, I know what the DP does, I know what the Shoryuken does, I know what the Tatsu does. Okay, I can just copy all of them and that's it. Oh, but what's my unique ability? I think that's a wrong way to approach it, right? Especially for characters wherein their unique abilities kind of eat through everything. Like, Season 2 does this a lot, right? Like, a lot of Galdred's attacks or a lot of Galdred's effects wouldn't make much sense if you didn't know that he redrew to 3 every time, right? So, sorry,
Yeah.
is it obvious that I've been playing a lot of Galdred?
Yeah, a little bit. So the way that the Soul match will typically go is that Soul will get in through one of his numerous closing tools. He's got a ton of them.
Right.
He'll close in and then beat you down for a bit, and then one of his moves, like his good finisher moves, will eject you out of the engagement, and then he'll close in again. So he's very much, I guess I'd say, kind of like a Ryu in that sense. He is really good at keeping you away, but once you get in, he's also really good at just engaging you while you're in. So, this is a character that that may have some trouble with zoning. He's got a lot of tools to get in, but he would prefer that that you come to him, or that you don't try and stop him from coming to you.
Right. So
it's also,
for frame of reference, is he more like? So he's a lot like a Rushdown. Is he like a Rushdown, or no?
Yeah, I would say I wouldn't say a pure Rushdown.
Right. So he's not an Ibuki, right? So he's like a Ken.
No, honestly, more like a Ken or a Karen type character. If we're gonna go Street Fighter V references,
Right.
He's very much like Ragna in BlazBlue, in terms of overall strategy.
Right.
And who else would I compare to? Terry Bogard's another good one, right?
Oh.
This is a character with some good rushdown and some good, like close range game, but all his projectiles pretty lame.
His projectile's pretty lame. Okay,
Yeah.
So I think, would the ability therefore be would the ability be capitalize on being close, or the ability should be help me get close?
I think that the ability is probably some kind of commitment ability, and I'm thinking like Sagat's, play a card face up, or some like Ken's step in and get power, those kind of abilities.
Right.
Or like do this and your car and you do more damage.
Right.
And I think that it would be really easy to
So, just throwing out some possible ideas. Spend resource to gain after close 2. Spend resource or do something predictable to gain bonus power. So kind of like Akuma-ish. Kind of like Yaquas-ish. Right? What else?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to give him if you play your attack face up, If you play your attack face up, it gains before close 2. Like at that point, I think we're going into
Yeah,
crazy
that's
town.
that's not really like soul. A more soul ability would be if when you play your attack at face up, it gains +2 power and hit push 2.
Right.
Like
Interesting.
you want to have you have these combos that end in these big meaty hits, and that's yeah. So that's kind of how he does.
Oh, somebody in chat says he's a pressure character, good fundamentals, great closing tools. So capitalization should be the ability.
Yeah.
Right. So spend resource for power bonus or something like that.
What about something like
Yeah, I just don't want to do spend force for power. Like I'm kind of sick of that. What if it's like you mill your deck for power?
well, check this one out.
Oh,
Your
geez.
EX attack have +2 power and hit push 2.
Okay, so
EX.
the thing about EX characters in Exceed though is that they don't play as like I come into you and we punch and stuff. Because in Exceed, when you make a character into an EX character, they by default turn into let me spend 3 turns milling through my deck so I can get a bunch of EXs.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
But we can make the kit support that kind of play if we want to have a faster, more fluid gameplay.
Maybe. I don't know, because every EX character that we've ever done kind of defaults into the I would rather not us fight, and I would rather have us just kind of stay and chill for a bit. Which doesn't feel very soul to me. You know what I mean? Right? Like
yeah, maybe not.
Right. Because even if we
That
made
said,
a kit
it is about a high commitment type of
right.
attack.
I think high commitment attacks kind of work. Maybe like Spectre Knight from season 4 does seal cards from my hand. Soul could do like I don't know, like mill the top of my deck or seal cards in my hand. Maybe he just has fake crits. Like if he spends gauge, he gets the power. What else? Maybe if he chooses to gain the power, he has to discard a card at random. Stuff like that.
No, stuff like that. I mean, there's a lot of ways to pay for it, but I think we probably want to decide if this is the exact power that we want.
Right.
So then if it is, then we can figure out how to activate it.
How to pay for it. It can be done, Marco. You gotta believe. I mean, yeah, I guess it's really hard to do that in a 2-hour stream, though, Daniel. That's the problem. Yeah, I think +2 power and hit push 2 is really good, especially if we make a bunch of his other cards in his kit into pseudo assaults, right? That way he can end up cornering someone. I think that's a very unique power. I think it's very, very strong. Because but it's only push 2, so sweeps don't get invalidated. So it's fine. I think it's a decent power because somebody can play a big guarded spike. You hit them, they get pushed back to range 3, and then you still take the hit on spike. So that's funny to me. Yeah, it has to be a very big payment though, because +2 power is a terrifying cost. Marco is a non-believer.
What about this one, Marco?
Let's see. When you stun the opponent, so when you stun them, you push 2, and then they take 1 non-lethal damage, right?
Let's do if they moved fewer than 2 spaces.
Push deal 1 if they. So he has corner bounce damage is essentially.
Yeah, so he has wall bounce damage as a default ability.
Right.
Which is not exactly his Guilty Gear ability, but is definitely about the wall bounces.
I think that's interesting. So your spikes and everything get really high value, especially if we make the rest of the kit a big closer. And this flows really well into how we modeled cancel, right? Because if we attack someone, they get pushed far away. If they stay there, next turn we can take a move action, pay the 2 gauge, and then strike again.
Yeah, so, fly up to them and hit them again.
Right, so that's the equivalent of just air dashing towards them, I guess. I approve of losing to spike.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a really cool
probably
ability.
Should be an after effect. So that's a good point. So it's after
if the opponent is stunned, push 2. period, deal 1 non-lethal damage if they move fewer than 2 spaces. If they were pushed fewer than 2 spaces.
Well, you should do it this way so that each effect is so the effects are not discrete, right?
That's fair.
If the opponent's stunned, then you push 2 and deal damage if they move fewer than 2 spaces. If they're not stunned, you don't do any of that stuff.
So
and that's not ambiguous.
Yeah, sorry, it's a bit ambiguous to me because I'm not sure if push 1 and deal 1 are conditional on the if. You know what I mean? Like, because the push 2 needs to happen all the time, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So is the key design idea corner press? So the key design idea here is high impact, close range brawler with disengages and closes. And according to Blue, Team Sema, I assume that is Blue. According to Blue, he's also a pressure character, which seems this ability seems to do that.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think this works pretty well for that purpose. And then the
natural
exceed ability. The exceed ability follows naturally.
It's either we push more or deal more damage, right?
Yeah. Push 2 and gain advantage if they moved. So you deal damage and gain advantage if they move closer.
Right. See, now this is kind of like flying off my templating brain, but I guess it's fine, right?
Yeah. You can feel free to correct it as we talk. That's fine.
I mean, I'll correct it.
Yeah.
There, I just put that.
Okay, we'll just do it. You can do it Tyrion's way. He has templated the whole thing correctly for us now.
Okay. After the
is there an exceed template guide somewhere, Tyrion? We should probably be, we should probably be figuring that out.
That's a long-winded key design idea. I mean, this is just the key design idea. High impact, close range brawler with disengages and closes. That's it. Like, that's just the key design idea. I think Gary's oh gosh. I guess I'll leave the puzzle for everybody to figure out because I know who Gary is.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Okay, so that would cost probably 3. At least 3, maybe 4, right?
Yeah, this is a pretty good ability, and I honestly might just like leave it like this, and then down here.
Oh, where are you typing now?
I've scrolled down to the bottom to the dragon install.
I like it. So you can't exceed unless you dragon install.
Yeah. So your exceed mode is the dragon mode, basically.
I like that. That way it's integrated. That way the play pattern for Soul has you playing actual dragon install. And this is the thing that I really want to point out is that people might go, oh, but then in the actual game, you never play dragon install. But I'm like, but that's the point, right? We need to make the character playable in the actual game and give them a reason to use their powerful tools, right? Like, if we wanted to make Dan in Exceed, we wouldn't just make him bad, right? You know?
Yeah. You want every character to be, reasonable and playable.
Right.
This is important. Armor.
Right. Okay, so this is a very undercurve move. Huh. Interesting.
That's not that bad. I mean, it's also an after, so you could just be at range 4 and throw it out and drag him up.
Right. That's cool. So that's an ultra. We should type ultra. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I really like this. I know we templated it on Tinker as INF.
Mm-hmm.
We made the exceed cost infinity. That way it could never happen.
Oh. Okay.
Right.
I mean, it's fine to do here too, if that's how you want to do it.
Yeah, I'll just put INF first. Okay, so we have the stats. We have strike boost. I assume we're not making this into a transform character.
No. We don't want to integrate too many mechanics.
Right. It might get too overloaded at that point.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, for those reasons precisely.
Right.
Cool.
So somebody in chat said that Wild Throw is more iconic than Break.
Yeah. Okay. I just went with what I saw in Dust Loop here. The Wild Throw is is just his standard throw, right?
Right.
Um, is it? I'm
I
trying to
don't know.
find out.
I'm not on Dust Loop. You told me not to be.
Oh, yeah, typically using Wild Throw. Yeah.
Right. So Wild Throw over Break.
It's a command throw. Okay.
Okay. So
Yeah, go ahead.
right. So let's put Wild Throw over Break. Okay. So we
Mhm.
probably need a spike like somewhere here. That's probably Wild Throw, right?
What's that?
So a character with this ability, right? You want to stun people. So you probably need an effect that is just ignore guard, ignore armor, or something like that, right? Something that lets you instant stun someone. So that would be a spike like, or something like Swangy Elbow, something like Eviscerate on God. Not
What, the
Eviscerate.
Wild Throw?
I'm not sure if Wild
Yeah.
Throw should be that, but that seems to be the best candidate, right? Because a command throw breaks through any defense, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Johnny. How's it going? Um, yeah, well, I think it's probably just it's a it's like it's a range one spike, right? It's going to be a close throw.
So it's a one
Um,
four four, and then guard 4. Like if we're going by
uh,
Swangy Elbow text at the very least.
I wouldn't put guard on it. In Guilty Gear, the throws are stupidly fast, and so I would go with like a more Zangief like throw. So like the 137, hit, pull 2. Um,
Right, but now it's a grasp like, not a spike like. So it's not doing what we want.
yeah. Well, it's spike like because it's ignoring guard.
Oh gosh, I don't think we should put an ignore guard on a 7.
If you do it like this, I don't think it's too
Right.
bad.
If it's a 1-1-7, then that's fine. Right.
Yeah,
Reese has
it's
this.
just the insult, not the
The
not
injury.
the injury.
Right. So this is really interesting to me because if we do this and we do it with the ability, you can do it so that you're near the corner and the opponent's not. You hit them,
Yeah.
you pull them into the corner, then your ability activates, and then you get it. So that's an interesting play pattern.
Yeah.
One pattern that might not work out so well will be if the opponent's already in the corner, you don't actually want to wild throw because you might accidentally
Yeah.
pull them out.
You'll pull them off of you.
Right. So do we want to make it pull 1 or 2?
Um,
Or pull up to 2? Right.
I don't think I think the thing about it is that like the yeah what am I saying? The choice doesn't really improve gameplay, right? And so that's the thing, like with Exceed. If the choice doesn't improve gameplay, then it's best to just leave it at a solid number, right?
Okay.
Soul is a character that wants to like that'll kind of create distance and then close distance. So a lot of the moves I think we will design to sort of build to create space naturally when they impact. Like
Right.
this is a high impact move, but it puts it does low damage, so it'll break guard. So it's really good. This is a really good move, right?
Yes, it is.
But it will put Soul in a position that maybe is not optimal for him,
Right.
and it does very low damage. So like Tyrion's saying, this is a really good move.
Yeah, it
even
is.
at 117.
Oh, heck yeah. Reese has it.
yeah.
And Reese is good. So,
Yeah.
no doubt. Okay, I like that. So that's the range one
Guttural,
spike.
the idea is that the move, the idea is that you follow up with the advantage given from your UA, or you follow up with like with your next movement, or with a with the Fafnir
Right.
after the fact.
So yeah, Guttural is asking that. I think there's a lot of ways that we can mod. Like it doesn't have to all be in that one attack, right? Like you can.
We want to keep it atomic. This does this, and then you can follow it up with some of the other tech in the kit.
Right, because there's a concept in Exceed and BattleCon that I like calling the flow of a character, right? it's kind of like when you play Ryu, right? Like when your opponent strikes against you at range 2, you can donkey kick them and then defend with your Hadokens, right? That character's
Yeah.
kit flows really well. And you didn't have to model all of that as one attack, right? So if we can
I
do
actually
something
think I want to do this at pull 1. Now that I'm thinking about it, because his UA, it's going to break guard, and his UA is going to push you the other 2 spaces.
right. Oh, I
And
thought you were doing that on purpose already.
No, I think we'll do it like this. That way, if they do have something like a stun immunity or armor to resist, then they just get pulled and they can still do their full attack.
Cool.
Right?
I
So
like that too.
there's tech against this.
Right.
If you have some armor.
So naturally, to me, since he's a brawly boy, right? You need to be able to threaten multiple things that scare them. So armor things will not be scared of wild throw. We need to make something that fights those, right?
Yeah. And so you're looking at kind of like I guess you'd say the more spike-like, the overheads, which would be your bandit revolver.
So the slow move. It's like
yeah.
So would it be just another spike like?
It's pretty slow and telegraphed. The main idea with the bandit revolver is that your opponent's already doing something, and then you hop over that thing and hit them. So it's more like, I would say it's more like a dive like.
Right.
Move.
So it's like it's a melee dive, so to speak. So
yeah.
it's
so
like
I would say something like
Ken Tatsu might be a good frame of reference, right? Because Ken's Tatsu is slow and a spike like.
Yeah. Well, here's what I'm thinking of it.
Right.
Armor before.
Right. So while Brad is writing this out, everybody, please share the stream with your Exceed friends, or if anybody you think might be remotely interested in the design concept.
No.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Avoid attacks at range 3 and 4. Ignore armor before advance 2.
Yeah. So it's really just a, hey, I'm at range 3 or range 4. I can do this. It's a threat, right?
Right.
It's the card is junk outside of the ideal.
Do you want to make it 5 power?
Range, it won't lose. Actually, I think I want to make it 3 speed. That way, if you sweep it, you can still take him out. It's more that the things like spike at range 3 or actually, I think it would just be sweep. Yeah, so we probably want to make this 2 so that you can break a sweep.
I want to make it 5 so that
on defense.
I want to make it 5 so that you positively trade against focus, because this is supposed to be beating the focus, right?
Yeah, I guess so. 5 would break focus.
Well, it wouldn't. It would trade with focus.
Starting to understand how Red Horizon happened.
Right. This could be 6. If it was 6 power, it would break focus. But at that point, it gets too crazy, right? So I'm okay with this for now. We could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do. Sure.
Change the name to Bandit Bringer. Okay.
And Bringer is like the follow. So what you do is like you'll do the revolver naturally, but if you put in the command, you'll do this overhead punch instead, and that's more of a spike-like attack. So it makes more sense for this.
All right. So the kit seems to be flowing really well. We have what you need to do in melee. We have the other thing to kind of mix people up in melee, and it also completely destroys blocks. This also kind of serves as a pseudo dive, like it's a bad pseudo dive, right? It's an anti-fireball dive. So that's also really good because it allows you to it's part of your flow, right? You bandit bringer, then you can wild throw them, right? So that's cool.
Yeah. Or go for the dragon install.
Right, or go for the dragon install. What's
Gunflame? Gunflame is the projectile, and it's not even a projectile. It's like a short range
explosion thing.
It's really like a long big box attack. It's kind of like Dan's Godoken, or even probably more like but the size of it's more like the Howl Godoken. Like it's a big square attack that shoots out in front of you. It doesn't threaten anybody except somebody who's committed to running at you, right? So
it's a sweep. It's like a sweep.
It's a lot like a sweep.
Right.
But it would, yeah.
Right, but how does Soul use it in his kit? Like, is it just there to create space or to maintain space? Like what's it supposed to do? Like how does he use it?
I guess mainly to counter, to counter the close range footsies, the things that are out of range of his sword, but they're things that are too close for the sword for your heavy, and things that are too far for the too far for the sword, too close for your bandit revolver. Those are what you're going to use to, like, you can hit Gunflame in that area, but it's mainly kind of like Hadoken. It's there to force the opponent out of the neutral space.
Right, right. So it's a get off me. So it's more like a cross then.
It's not a get off me. It's more like a now you have to act, right?
So it's like a sweep.
It's more of a come at me. Yeah.
Right. So it's literally a sweep. So we could just by default make it sweep like.
Yeah.
Right. So my mind says something along the lines of so here's the thing. When you hit somebody with the gun flame, I assume Soul's entire thing is he wants to close back in afterwards, right?
Yeah.
Right. So probably this is the move that we put the close in, right? Like as an after.
Well, you don't really close after. This move is not a move that something that moves you.
No, yeah. But it's like something you want to do afterwards, right? We don't really have a lot of like. Is Volcanic Viper? What's his get in move? Is that Fafnir?
Volcanic Viper is your get in move, and Fafnir's like a sliding punch, so that's also a good get in move.
Okay, so we have two get in moves.
Volcanic Viper is the anti-air. Ground Viper is the get in.
Right. So should we change it to Ground Viper?
Well, Volcanic Viper is like the Dragon Punch. Ground Viper is probably more iconic though, and deserves to be represented more than the Volcanic.
And we don't need another DP. We have Wild Throw, which is basically a DP.
Yeah.
Right. So, right. So Gunflame is hit gain advantage. So, but it's a sweep, right? So.
So.
Would we really want to do hit gain advantage? Maybe after gain advantage.
Well, that's kind of what it is. It's got a really strong. It's got a really strong. What do I call it?
Hit stun.
Like block stun. It's got a really long block stun, and a very long hit stun. So you'll like. It's one of those moves that if Soul does it, he loses a lot of tempo if it whiffs. But if he hits or if the opponent blocks it, you're getting positive frames.
Right. So hit gain advantage sounds correct.
Yeah.
So should it just be like a weaker sweep? So it's like a 1 to 4, 5 to guard 6. Wait. So here's a quick question: does Gunflame lose to a lot of other things in neutral? Like if you're not in the right space?
No, it kind of beats any physical attack in neutral.
Right. So okay. So it's a sweep with less power. Doesn't do the discard, but it has more range and it gives you advantage, like that.
Yeah, I could see something like that.
Right. Because so think about the pattern of how this works out, right? Like this is now a sweep that beats cross in melee. Is that what you want it to do?
Well, will it beat cross because it's only 1 to 4?
Right, but cross can be played in 1.
Yeah, if cross hits you at 2. You'll go back to 5. At range 1, it'll beat cross. See, this thing, it doesn't have a lot of guard. It's more that if your opponent is already in range of it and you use it, then there's very few good reactions.
Right. But guard is a really easy way to model that, right? Like,
yeah.
Like an immense amount of guard basically means this attack will go through no matter what. Right.
I'm trying to think about this.
Because I feel like what you're basically saying is that it's like equivalent to a ranged Zangief Lariat, right? Like it's essentially what it boils down to. And like Lariat basically has iframes in Street Fighter, right? But at the end of the day, in Exceed we just modeled it as like it's basically unbeatable because of its immense defense, right? Like So I think Gunflame having guard is fine, despite it not necessarily having guard in the actual game.
Yeah, sure.
Right.
That could make some sense. I just feel like it's not a trading tool. It's like a you win or you lose kind of thing.
Then we could make it into a dive. Make it.
I think what I would want to see would be like maybe something like
1 to 5, 4. Oh, it's a fireball. Okay.
So it's more like a slow fireball, in that sense. And
Right.
then yeah, because yeah, anything that is inside, anything that if your opponent's already inside and you try and use this, you're just gonna get stuffed. And
Right.
if they're outside and you try and use this, they're gonna, if they're not already doing something, it's gonna be hard for them to get in. So it is functionally like a fireball.
All right. So the gun flame like this sounds about correct to me. If
I think
that's
this could work.
uh, catching backdashes seems fine. It's more catching movement. What if it got plus fire? So Kevin, this is something I really want to point out. We are at the point in time wherein people are suggesting, oh, why not give it this effect if this set of specific conditions happens? Like, I feel like this is a trap in design, right? Like, so Kevin's suggesting, what if it got plus prio if your opponent is at range 3 on reveal, right? At that point in time, we're silver bulleting specific attacks rather than just trying to create an attack that does what we want it to do, right? Because adding on an effect like that is like, oh, I wanted to make a sweep that specifically loses to spikes and to other thing, so let's make it so that the effect says if the opponent plays spike, you win instead, right? Like, it's like you get to a point where you're silver bulleting, and I don't think it's a good way to design because it makes the effect seem clunky. It makes the effect seem like less elegant, right?
We do want to make it as you know as light as
General.
possible,
Right.
and not to go into specific counter tech. And that's part of the challenge of designing Exceed is to counter specific attacks in a general way.
Right. You counter them
So
because of the stats you have or something like that, right? But
yeah,
yeah, so I think there was a mistake because I thought Gunflame was essentially like a lariat. It doesn't seem to be like a lariat. It seems to function like a Ken fireball, right? Like you.
like it's like a ground, it's like a traveling wave.
Oh, it's
Honestly,
like
if
a
you've ever
floor.
seen,
It's like
if you've seen Terry's Power Geyser
it's power geyser.
in where it goes, like where it hits, or Trinity Geyser where it goes like 1, 2, 3, it's a small Trinity Geyser.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so it's a small Trinity. Okay, so it's basically like a bucket of fire comes out in the front of him for like.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, I see now.
The reason I put it at 1 to 5 is because his sweep range is already 3, and the Gunflame goes about twice as far as his sweep does in game. Because you have to remember, the ranges are pretty exaggerated. Even if it only covers 40% of the screen in the actual game, we want to make it feel like it's useful. Because most of the time in fighting games, you're in a closer kind of scenario than you are in Exceed, where the board is big.
Right.
So having moves that have a wider range is generally okay, as long as you don't break the curves too hard.
Does Gunflame suck in complete melee?
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Right.
In melee.
Can we make it 2 to 5? That way it seems a bit fairer rather than just being a 1 to 5.
I mean, it can hit at 1. I don't see a reason not to.
I mean,
allow
Hadoukens
it
can hit
1.
at 1.
Yeah,
Right, but they have 3 to 6
but
range.
you would like this. If you're using this attack at range 1, you're pretty desperate. But you could.
Okay. We can shelf that for now. I mean, like, it's basically a dive, but like it doesn't move you. And I think that lack of movement is a big deal too. So
Yeah.
Right. So like less power, lack of movement, but for extra range and advantage, I mean, I'm okay with that. It's fine. Right. So we have this. We need the follow-up move. So what's the follow? Okay. Well, there you go. Ground Viper has the big follow-up already. Wow. Okay.
There you go.
Right. Do you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
All right. So 1 to 5, 2, 4. So it's 1 to 1, 6, 1, 4. Okay, this is a very interesting shape. Right.
I think I might actually go. Yeah, this looks good.
Right. So it still loses the dives, right?
It would at certain ranges, right? Not at maximum range.
Right. It loses to dives. It loses to sweeps. So that's good.
No, it'll beat a sweep.
No, it won't because it goes slower than sweep, right?
This is a range 4 and 5 move.
It's
you
close,
wouldn't want
not
to use
advanced.
this. Yeah, you would never want to use this at like range 1, 2, or 3.
You could use it at range 1 reasonably well.
Well, I mean, if somebody focuses you or sweeps, then you lose, right? It's speed 1.
Okay.
And it's only got 4 guard, so you just lose to those kind of shapes.
Right.
Really, it's a long range attack. When you think your opponent has no projectiles, you zoom in and hit them.
Right. It's basically like a but functionally on defense it's like a sweep, right? Because if they grasp or cross you, you beat those. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So it's functionally a long range tool and a melee tool if we make it close
against cross and grasp, sure.
Yeah. And assault.
Well, assault has 5 damage, right?
No, it's 4.
Or am I thinking? Is it 4?
Yeah, it has 5 speed.
Yeah.
Right. So this would be a really powerful. It's basically functionally defensively a sweep, except against other sweeps, which beat it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. Is big movement, low profile. Okay, so Gutter Owl is saying that Gunflame's identity is that it's a big movement and low profile, so maybe a dodge versus long range moves.
I don't think you need the dodge versus long range moves. Like, again, putting in every single case, most ground projectiles will catch a ground viper. It's not like it has some special dodge properties. It's just that anything that is like a high tiger shot, you would duck under that.
Right. And that's just modeled by the guard, right? That's just modeled by the guard. I think that's okay. I mean, the other design of an auto dodge versus long range attacks is already a thing that exists, right? Cammy has Razor's Edge. Razor's Edge is literally just a 1-5-1 or a 1-4-1, advance 4, and then it just has dodge long range projectiles. Mm-hmm. So that's a valid design as well. But we already have an auto dodge on Bandit Bringer, and I don't think we need even more auto dodges than that because it gets terrifying if you have too many of those effects. Fafnir. So Fafnir is a focus, right?
It's more of like a rushdown attack.
Right.
So I'm thinking something kind of like this.
Right. So it's a sweep. It's like a sweep downgraded.
Yeah, it's more. I mean, it's more like an assault sweep, right? It's a haymaker punch. Right. And so,
This reminds me a lot of King Knight's shoulder charge because this is basically shoulder charge's shape. So, it's a slow assault is essentially what it is.
Yeah, it's a slow, heavy assault.
Right. Do we want to give this Fafnir push?
No, because he'll have it on his kit.
Right. No, sorry. That's what I'm asking. Do we want Fafnir to push on top of what it already does in his UA?
No, with 5 damage, it's going to push most attacks, right? This is something that you use to beat. This will beat quick attacks.
Right.
And so it'll naturally push people across the screen with its ability because it's got because it's got that much damage on it.
Right. Ground Viper, I just realized that EX Ground Viper is really strong. And you know what? That's fine. But that's just a really cool tech, right? Because
EX attacks should be, right?
Right. It goes to 7 power, stuns out sweeps, beats sweeps, gets defensive stats like sweep, so it's really good. I like it. I really like it. So Tyrant Rave. What does Tyrant Rave do?
Tyrant Rave is 2 Fafnirs stacked on top of each other in a trench coat.
Okay, so people are saying that Fafnir pushes super far.
2 people said it. The only 2 people that are talking in chat, but they both said it. So fine, we'll put on a push. Sure.
Hey, RB. Right. Like maybe it's just like a push 1 or a push 2. Right.
Push 2 should be fine.
Right. That way it always pushes, and then if you stun them, it pushes even more. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Then you can follow up with Ground Viper. Hey, the kit is flowing! Yay!
Yay!
So you can Fafnir, and then you can either follow up with Bandit Bringer or Ground Viper, and then you go. You're sold. You're golden. Tyrant Rave. Oh my gosh, is this the instant kill?
No, this is just, like I said, it's just 2 Fafnirs.
Oh, it's just 2 Fafnirs?
It's just 2 Fafnirs, yeah.
Okay, so it's just, it literally just has the stats of 2 Fafnirs. This is not a 3-gauge Ultra, this is a 4-gauge Ultra.
Okay.
Because anything with the defensive stats of an ultra sweep with the power of a mega sweep, no, just no. Like it might even be a 5 depending on what text you give it.
Um, I was gonna get. I was what am I gonna do? Actually, let's do it like this.
Execute this attack again.
Yeah, probably like this.
Before, it's an option select.
No. So you can, yeah. It doesn't really need guard or armor. It probably should go just like fast.
Okay, so
because the way it works is you do this one really close melee punch that's a quick interrupt, and then he goes in with the like super Fafnir attack. Right. So it's so you have so it's really good at range 1, and then at longer ranges it's not quite so good because the opponent has time to block it. And this would simulate that, right? You would if you're at range 1, you could just go boom and hit them and then go for the full power attack.
Right.
If you're at a lower range, you can still throw out this fast high damage attack, but it's not going to be quite as impactful because the opponent has time to deal with it.
So I'm not sure because if I'm looking at the stats, right, it's either an assault with 1 more power and 1 more speed, or it's a undercurved melee, like it's a 13th story ultra, right?
Yeah.
Right. So I think
I think this shape is really cool. This gives Soul some neat options. I think maybe I don't want to overload it quite so hard. I think I might go like this, and so that the core economy of it has a little bit more weight.
Oh, this is a really powerful ultra.
I think it's cool. I don't think it's crazy, right?
No, I don't think it's crazy.
6. If it just said 1 to 3 6 6 for 3 gauge, you'd be like, yeah, that's okay. It's only at range 1 that it gets to be really good, and it can still just be thrown, or even crossed on offense,
right,
or on defense.
Yeah. So I think it's fine. I mean, like if it EXs, you start dealing 11 damage at 7 speed, so it's pretty good. So either way, I think that's a good ultra for 3. Yeah. The option select might make it a 4 because if I've learned anything about Exceed is that the moment the attack has an option select on it, it's infinitely more powerful than you expect it to be. Okay. So
we can
adjust that later after testing, and that's
this one is not really an option select, right? It's a move. It's just a move that happens to have less power at range 2 and 3. I could put 1 to 3 at range 2 and 3 minus 4 power, or range 1 plus 4 power,
right?
And it
will be the same.
But this gives you a bit more of the shape,
right? That
is neat.
And the movement's important, right? Because Soul wants to be closing in. So okay, that's fine with me too. Plus, if you EX Tyrant Rave at range 3, you can stun out sweeps and then proc your UA, so that's cool. Right. And then we have Dragon Install. This is fine. Like two gauge for this. Okay, so this means that your Exceed is 2 gauge, right?
Yeah, effectively.
Right, but the Exceed is really powerful. Did we make this 3 gauge?
Yeah.
So that's a real question.
I don't think it's that powerful. You still have to stun the opponent to use it, but it's good.
Right, it's good. It's basically like Reese, right? You're basically like Reese after you Exceed. Yeah, okay, we'll see. So now we have the kit. And at this point in time, we can figure out the boosts. So when it comes to designing a character for Exceed, when it comes to the boost, you have two big things you need to understand, right? The boost should help you get on track for your game plan, right? And the boost should also give you an economy of actions for cards you might not want, right? So one big thing we need to understand is, for example, if you're already at long range, where attacks like Gunflame are probably their best, right? You don't want to therefore give Gunflame a boost that is good at long range only, right? Because like what?
Right.
So the only time you would ever want to do that is if you have an attack so powerful that you want to mitigate its power level by making it less versatile. So, for example, Sagat's Tiger Shot has quick backstep on it, right? And we didn't want to separate those two. Oh gosh. That's an ultra boost.
You're right. Yeah, 2. There we go.
Okay. 2 for +4 speed sounds terrifying. Oh my gosh. Right. Hello, Valor Crash. Welcome.
But when I do this, I like to start by looking at the stock boosts that a character might want.
Right, so that's plus speed, plus
then,
power.
yeah.
I mean, Soul probably needs a plus power one, right?
Yeah.
But is it like a Ken one? Okay, I don't think he should have key charge. Do we really want to give him key charge?
He has it in game.
Okay, then we shouldn't call it key charge. We should call it something else.
No.
What do you want to call it? Anyway, we can figure that out later. But this is not key charge, so we can't call it key charge.
Oh, it's not? I must have misremembered the name.
Right. Does anybody know the name of this boost?
Well.
Right, sorry, that's Soul Badguy himself. This character that you see on the lower left is Llewyn? How do you pronounce it?
Llewellyn. Yeah, I don't know why you put Llewellyn on there. She's not even playable in Exceed.
Right, no, I just wanted to pick a character. It's fine. Cute girls are cute. Guilty Gear Season 5 or Soul, just a solo. Okay, so Valor, in case you just got here, this is us making a custom character for fun. Just to show everybody the process of making a character for Exceed. Soul, this does not confirm Guilty Gear Season 5, sadly. So somebody said that the name of the boost should be Ride the Fire. So
Ride the Fire? Is that what it's really called?
I mean, I'm going to trust chat.
Oh, okay.
Right, and this can't be Swift Destruction either.
Swift Destruction is a +4 speed.
Right, but it's a 1 cost +4 speed.
It's 1 on an Ultra. It would be 2 on a normal attack.
Right, but it's confusing. But it's fundamentally a different thing, right? Like, and besides, we need to also make it like Guilty Gear appropriate, right? I don't think.
Okay, sure.
Right. I mean, we could call it Super. We could call. Oh my gosh. I don't know what we would call it. Gear Up. Sure, why not? Gear Up is fine. Make Llewellyn playable in Exceed. Season 5 is that other ArcSys property. You mean you mean BattleCon? Brad, please.
What?
Okay, we have dead angle, range 1, push 1. Okay, so here's a quick question I want to ask you. Is that this boost on dead angle, do you want this to be a 0 cost hit push?
No, it's not it's a boost, so you can't hit somebody with it.
I mean, it could be a continuous boost.
No. It's a card that you're at range, you're at the opponent's at range 1, you play the card, you push them out to range 4.
Oh, then you follow up with Fafnir or something.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, not Fafnir, Ground Viper.
Yeah.
So I think he also needs to have a closey boost, right? He needs a closey boost.
If the opponent moved 3 spaces, take another action.
That's really strong. I like it.
It's cool.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a nice get out.
I don't see the thing is I don't think we need this because he has cancel.
What, you don't think we need this?
I don't think we need if the opponent moved 3 spaces, take another action. He could just cancel, right?
That's true. He could just cancel out of it.
Right, because I think that overloads.
Let's do this. If the opponent moved 3 spaces,
deal 2 non-lethal or something.
Add this to your gauge.
Right, so then he can cancel. That's
so cool. So it cancels cheaper if you
do it correct. See, I think this is a really cool design. See, this is a really cool design space, right? So rather than explicitly stating, "Oh, just take another action," we use it to flow into another part of the kit, which is the Roman cancel, right? So I think that's a really cool way to do it. So I think we need a movie boost for this one. So this could just be, I don't know, like this could be his version of Run. Like he has a version of Run, but I don't know what it would be.
Um, Probably advance. Let's
Advance
see.
3 or something?
Mm,
Advance 2?
what if we like? So Soul has kind of this headlong run. So what if we do like close 5 if you moved 2 or like 3 or fewer spaces?
Gain gauge.
Yeah.
Right. So
So,
now the kit is flowing.
so this is just a full headlong run.
I think it should be close 4.
Um,
I think it should be close 4 because it's looking too much like actual headlong run.
is that a card?
Yes, it's on
I think
Carl.
that was- Oh. Well, maybe you should just make it that.
Right. So if we look at actual headlong run, it's just 0 cost close up to 6 or something like that.
Yeah.
So we can just make this close 4 if you move fewer spaces gain gauge. That's fine. That way
Okay.
it flows into your cancels. That's really cool. Like the cancel mechanic is
Okay.
playing so well right now.
Yeah. Man, I kind of wish we had a Guilty Gear season on the way.
Oh, did you just deconfirm Guilty Gear, Brad?
What? Nah, I don't know. I mean I can deconfirm it. Like we haven't signed Guilty Gear yet.
Yet. There you go. Yet. So much gauge. So much gauge. Yeah, he needs a lot of gauge. Like, because a big part of his power budget is in this thing, right? It's not in his cards, but a big part of his power budget is in this thing. So he needs to fuel it with gauge. Let's see. So we just called it air dash, right? Okay, so air dash is fine.
I guess so. It's a thing.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, Blaze Blue and all the other Arc System games are called air dashers, right? So
I've never heard them called air dashers, but I guess that's an argument you could make.
right. I mean, I've heard it called that. Okay, so Ground Viper. So Ground Viper is used. So what else would he need in his kit, right? This is the power boost, right? This probably is the power boost because this is his special that deals the most damage. So
Yeah.
this can probably be used to buff the other specials,
Yeah.
right? So you want to just do Akuma's. Akuma has a boost that's like, sorry, Ken and Akuma have a boost that's like +1 power now strike or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to do that, or do you want to play up the? Or do you want to play them up more?
No, I think that honestly, I think that what would probably be simpler for Soul would just be like the overhead boost.
Oh, like +2 power, +1 armor. Oh, the
No,
over.
just ignore armor, ignore guard.
Oh, spicy. All right, that's a 1 cost boost if I've ever seen one.
Really? You think? No, it's so situational.
It's that I'm pretty sure that's a 1 cost boost. Chat, it's.
Chat, you wanna weigh in?
Yeah,
on
weigh
this?
in, chat. This is an interaction kind of thing. Chat, what do you think? Right.
No, yeah, we went away from Akuma. Now we're saying like, let's do this. To give him more, basically another way to
Proc
trigger his UA.
Yeah.
Right.
Also, I think this could just be key charge. I don't think he should have superior key charge.
What?
Ride
Which
the
one?
Fire, row number 28. This is just superior key charge. If it's gonna be superior key charge, it should cost 1.
Mhm. Well, what about this? Add a. What about there? Make it a little bit more expensive.
Right, because that's essentially the same thing that I said. So I'm okay with that.
Oh.
Okay. Let's see.
Overhead is ignore armor now strike. Add this to your gauge.
Right. Because if it also ignores guard, that's definitely not a 1 cost boost. That's definitely not a 0 cost boost. Right. Sorry. Yeah. Okay, defensive. That's the armor one, right?
Okay.
But also named over. Okay, no, but the real question is, like, this is scary to me as a 0 cost boost. So let's
I mean, you see it coming. It just says don't sweep this. Like, if he spends 2 gauge, he can tag it onto an attack.
right, and that alone instantly makes checkmates that are really hard to beat.
Yeah.
Right,
But that for 2 gauge, you deserve a checkmate.
right, but he generates gauge a lot by the boosts, right?
Just say he's got a lot of he's got a lot of ways to spend it. This is maybe not the best use of your gauge.
Call it dust. Somebody said call it dust.
Sure.
Because
Dust.
dust is the launcher, right, or something like that.
Yeah, dust is the launcher move in.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can just leave it at 0 for now. I'm pretty sure somebody has a boost that's similar to power. I think Vincent has a boost that's ignore guard, draw a card, right? So
Guard crush is the same thing, but ignore guard, and it is indeed 1 force. Oh, you're saying guard crush is the same as overhead, but it's guard instead of armor.
but you see, I think Daniel is saying is that it just has ignore guard and it is 1 force.
No, guard crush is the version of overhead that is guard instead of armor. It's ignore guard, now strike, hit, add this to your gauge. That's guard crush.
Right. So yeah.
Which would be a good super boost for him.
Right.
If we wanted to have it.
Yeah. I don't know if we should give him so much ignore guard. He already has like.
Yeah, he does have a lot of ignore guard, and he's got good power.
Right.
I feel like he can break guard rather than ignoring it.
I mean, honestly, this could just be actual overhead rather than an ignore. We could probably put the ignore guard on an ultra.
Yeah, Marco, look, just listen to Taryn. Just do the thing, just do the cool thing, and let balance work it out.
I mean, that's fair.
Words to live by.
I like that. All right, so Tyrant Raven Dragon install. So, do you want to just give him Way of the Wario for Dragon installs?
Way of the Wario?
Sorry, Wario.
Is that what you call it?
Yeah, I call it Way of the Wario. Sorry.
I see.
So yeah, do you want to just give him like a +2/+2, 1 cost?
Yeah. I feel like it's a little lame. I don't think it really does what he wants to do.
That's fair. I mean, he always wants more power, right?
Yeah.
Ultra boosts are where you get really hard because this is where you can get really wacky with the boosts, right? Because they're afforded.
I think we want to do something that's cool and thematic to the character too.
Right, exactly.
Or like, yeah.
Yeah, we could give him a taunt.
Yeah. So something like draw until you.
Yeah, that Vincent boost is insane. Good to know. Right. I want to see this thing that Brad's typing down. Draw until you have 7 cards in hand. For each card on your round as a top card to discard pile to their gauge. So it's a refuel. I like that. It's an instant boost.
Yeah.
Cool. Right. And I think the last one should be his power boost. Because he does.
I don't think he needs. I feel like he gets power from his. I mean, maybe.
I mean,
sure.
like a power boost is basically equivalent to another ignore guard, right? Or another ignore armor, right? So like literally giving him like something like +3 power, now strike for 0 cost, something like that, right? Like that would guard crush so many things, and it would be terrifying. You and the opponent have +3 power, now strike.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, put the now strike in there. Centered and 0 cost, right? Because
yeah.
Oh, this is a really fun boost. This is like this is very similar to Viper's stylish Clash. I like it.
Well, in Guilty Gear, they actually have a clash. Like that's like when you both attack at the exact same priority. That's a clash.
Oh, I like that. I like that. Right. So Soul Stunt reminds me a lot of Iaquis Boost or the Iaquis
Yeah,
Boost.
it's kind of like Iaquis's
Roar?
the one that gives you 4 cards, but if your opponent and then you lose 2 of them by random or something like that.
I think his is like he can either draw a card or add a card to his gauge. Then the opponent can do it, but if the opponent does it, he can do it again. Right.
Right, it goes back and forth until one of you decides to stop.
Right, until one of you decides to stop. So yeah, I like that. Because it's really interesting because it basically means that whoever initiated it, aka Iaquis, always gets one more than the opponent, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's very cool. And that's the kit! We did it, Brad!
Yeah, we did it. We made a Soul Badguy kit. So now somebody can put this on their custom and, hey, original work, do not steal.
Right. TM, level 99 games. TM.
Credit Brad and Marco. Mostly Brad.
Mostly Brad. It's true. I mean,
Marco, you can't just let me get away with that stuff.
Well, number one, you were the one who wrote most of the stat lines. I mean,
well, yeah. After talking through them, like one who helped me erase most of the stat lines and write better ones.
Okay, that's fair. Fine. Copyright level 99 games. How about that?
Yeah.
Right. This boost makes me laugh so much. I love it. You the opponent plus 3 power now strike. Oh my gosh. All right. So let's do a debrief of the entire kit so that everybody who might have missed the initial part of the stream will see it. So Soul Badguy is, according to our experience or the playstyle note, is a high impact close range brawler with disengages and closes. We've decided to model this by giving him an effect that says that if he stuns an opponent, he pushes them, and if they don't get pushed the full distance, they take extra damage. His Exceed mode is very powerful because it allows him to gain advantage if he doesn't push all the way. He now makes use of a special season mechanic called Cancel, which at any point in time, if he has taken an action that does not cause a strike, he can pay 2 gauge to take another action, effectively turning all of his boosts into pay 2 gauge, take another action, which is really powerful, really, really scary. So we have his attacks. Sorry, do we center all of these? We should probably center all of these. Right. Original game, do not steal. Do we have a better name for the Get Good boost, chat? Let's name it out. So while I go through this. So we have Gunflame, which is a fireball that gives you advantage and draws you a card, which is very powerful because you can use it to essentially create space and then close afterwards.
There we go. That fixed.
What did you fix?
The name.
Get Fast. Right, and then this is GitHub. Okay, so Ground Viper. Ground Viper is a very interesting attack. It's a close range defensive tool that loses to other close range defensive tools, but it's also a big gap closer. Very, very soul-like. We have Bandit Bringer, which is a mid-screen, long-ish screen overhead that beats armors. This is very, very powerful in conjunction with Wild Throw, which is the opposite of that. It's a guard beater, but doesn't have a lot of damage. So this kind of creates a mix-up for him, at least in melee. Fafnir's another gap closer, but more than a gap closer, it's an impact move, right? You come in, you hit them, and even if you don't stun, they get pushed. So you might be able to proc your UA. Tyrant Okemi. I liked it.
Let's do it like this.
Oh, that's a +1 speed and draw card. If you have less life than the opponent, +3 speed instead. So this is.
Well, I don't want it. Yeah, so people are suggesting names for these. We can adjust the names later, and if this were a thing that we were going to show to to
Arc
to Arc System Works,
Right.
they would advise us on the names of the attacks and the boosts to make sure they're clear. But one thing is, if when I'm doing a character for the first time, I also want to make some of the names of the boosts around the key mechanics in that game.
Right.
So like so picking things like the Clash or Air Dash or Dust or Kimmy, this means that we can reuse these on multiple characters throughout the season, and they'll feel like
They all share the mechanics.
they become the background mechanics of the game.
Right.
Just like there isn't I said Okimi, but it's an Ukimi, isn't it? I'm bad and I feel bad.
Right.
So the Ukimi is when you roll to get up after a knockdown.
Ah, I see. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, what am I saying? So you create some kind of like soft mechanics for the season,
Right.
and because these boosts appear in multiple characters, those soft mechanics kind of become the background to the set.
Right. So it's kind of like in Street Fighter how a bunch of characters have key charge or like overhead and all of that stuff, right?
Yeah, because a lot of the okay, I think that is Okizumi. Let me make sure that I'm using the right term here now, so I don't seem like a scrub.
Right.
Especially, yeah.
Okay.
Okizumi is pressuring the opponent while they're getting up after being knocked down. Ukimi is breaking one's fall, the art of rolling after being forced to the ground.
It's tech falling. Right. You tech.
It's tech fall. Okizumi is pressuring a tech fall.
Right.
Or is pressuring a fall.
Right.
Okay.
So plus
So
one speed.
now we've got that out.
Right. Plus one speed. Draw.
Okizumi would be the other one where, like, if we want to do that, like, it would be if you have more life, you get the speed bonus.
Wow, that's scary.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe for a character that's more of a win more character.
Right. So quick question about the templating on this, Brad. Is this plus one speed and draw a card always, but then the speed becomes 3 if you have less life?
Yeah.
Oh,
basically, I'll leave the templating to the professionals, but
right.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, make it busted first and then balance it later, right?
Yeah.
Right. Because I'm pretty sure we used to have this boost for Beheaded, and we were like, this is never okay. I
see.
But it's fine. All right. So we have Dust. So Fafnir is a big push.
Yeah, I like Danger Time. That's a mechanic too in Guilty Gear. That's a nice call.
Ooh, so Danger Time. Cool. And you know what? The boost makes it very dangerous.
Yeah. So I think that's a especially good one.
Right. Tyrant Rave. So Tyrant Rave is basically a big move, right? That's all it basically is. In melee, it turns into a giant destructo attack, and then at long range,
it just makes Soul really scary at close range.
Right, and that's what he's supposed to be, because that's part of his identity, right? High impact, right?
Yeah.
And we have Dragon.
I think that. Excuse me, Marco.
Are you okay?
Sorry. Yeah. I think we should get started wrapping up. My headache's starting to get a bit worse.
Okay. It's
I want to go ahead and go home.
Oh man.
And call it a day.
Go home and be a family man.
It's been really fun making this character with you.
Oh gosh. Do you want to go home and be a family man?
Yeah. I've got to go home and be a family man.
All right.
Actually, I got to go home and sleep. That's probably what it really is.
All right. So thank you so much, Brad, for making this character with me. It was very fun. And thank you, everyone in chat, for making this character with us.
Yeah, thank you guys for jumping in along with us.
Right, so there you go, quote-unquote, version Brad, Soul Badguy. I hope all of you enjoyed this episode of the new level.
I think this Soul Badguy was better than my previous Soul Badguy.
Because you had the power of friendship on your side, Brad.
I think it's true. I think it's true, Marco. It was the friendship that made it better.
Right. The real Soul Badguy was the friends we made along the way.
You made along the way.
Right. So everyone, thank you so much for listening to this episode of the New Level Cap podcast. If you're watching us on stream or if you're watching this on a VOD, thank you so much for everything. Again, share this with a friend. And if you could, please give us a like please give us a comment and tell us how much you either loved, didn't like this character, how you like the process of going through making a custom character for Exceed.
And look out for shirts and playmats on Friday.
Right, shirts and playmats on Friday. So everybody listening to this or watching this as the VOD, remember that on Friday we'll be making an announcement of our awesome 7th Cross Jeff, Taisei, and Zolt shirt and the awesome Remless playmat. So again, thank you so much for watching. Give us a like, give us a share, and if you hated it, share it with an enemy. As usual, it's been me, your host, Marco DeSantos, also known as Mechanic Rick, and with me has been the magnificent Brad Talton. Yeah, we said it at the same time.
All right. Thank you, World of Exceed. Thank you, and good night.
Happy gaming.
Don't forget your reading boost.
Don't forget to change cards either. It's a pretty good.
Don't forget your change cards.
Don't forget your change cards. And thank you, everyone. Good night. Thanks for the
Good night.